Okay, here we are at the table with Hugh Brown, and he's going to talk about one of his favorite subjects tonight. He's a big college football fan. Go ahead and tell us, what's your favorite football team?
Well, I like the Florida Gators.
Really?
My favorite football team.
The home team, huh?
Yes, the home team, the home state, the home team.
Yeah. So, why do you like the Gators so much?
Well, I like them basically because they're from Florida, and I'm Floridian. And they're a very interesting team, knowing their past history, the past coaches, Spurrier, and being raised in that area. It's interesting to follow them because they have a good program, they have a good team, and a great coach. And it's interesting to see a team when they seem to have it all together. They pretty much seem to have it all together. If you notice that when we start talking about something, everybody seems to get everything around you gets louder.
Yeah, it's good. You got to talk a little louder.
Well, the thing is, it's interesting just to follow our team and see if they can do well and have a perfect season. And it's possible that they could have a perfect season this year.
Okay, so how come the Florida Gators? What about other Florida teams like Florida State or Miami Hurricanes?
Well, they, in the beginning, started out and they had, I thought they would have good teams this year, but they just fell through.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Okay. And now our food's here, so we better stop and eat our food. So we're talking about what makes the Gators so interesting. I think basically, to me, it's because they have such a great coach, and they've got Tebow, who is probably might be one of the greatest college football players ever played the game. He's broke the most records. And I know there's a lot of people that wouldn't agree on it. Plus, he's a great guy and a great Christian, and he gets a lot of criticism, naturally, from people who I guess wouldn't share the Christian faith. And that's kind of, excuse me, it's kind of hard. Most people would, disagree with me, but I think last year when he was running for a Heisman Trophy, and it was over in the southwestern section of the United States, he got the most majority of the first place votes, and the reporters over there didn't even put him on their ballots. There was I forget how many there was. There was 100 or something. Had they even put him in last place, fourth place, he would have won by a landslide. They didn't even put him on the ticket.
Why not?
Because I figure they're prejudiced, and they either probably prejudiced against the Southeastern Conference or against Tim Tebow. And a lot of them are reporters and they're worldly, and there's a lot of people when they see a Christian person, they naturally don't like them. That's just the way art. It's the spirit, the nature of man, where they pick up things like that. But he would have easily won it had they even put him in last place. And for them not to even put him on their ticket in last place, it shows that they're highly prejudiced. I mean, even an idiot would have to deduce that he at least should deserve last place on the ticket. So they did it on purpose, and what they did besides that, by being dishonest and by being prejudiced, whatever it was.
Against who again?
Against Tim Tebow. They kept him out of Heisman Trophy by that.
And why do you think they would be prejudiced against him?
Have a wonderful evening, gentlemen. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. The human mind is very complex, and there's a lot of things that could enter in. But I do know that most reporters are kind of worldly people, and they're not concerned with spiritual things, and it's to see somebody who lifts up God and his faith and gives praise to God. It's offensive to them. They can't see that, because when they see reality like that, they have to refute it, because they have to say it's not true, it's not right, it doesn't set well with them because of their conscience, because they haven't accepted God, and so they have to strike back and say, well, he really don't deserve it. Any way they can discredit him. That could be part of it. It could be they just plain. I've seen a lot of reporters on TV, and also over the radio. You pick up certain a dislike for the South. They just want to pretend that the North is better, or the West is better, or anything. It's strong prejudice,
Oh, all right. So, how are the Gators doing this season?
Well, they've got a good record right now. They fought a lot of the teams, had a lot of battles. They've had some real close games, and you think, well, they've really played sloppy, but yet they've had a lot of people come up against them that really are trying really hard to beat them. So, and they've come against good defenses, and that kind of shut an offensive team down. So, by the fact that they have maintained their perfect season so far, is saying a lot in itself. Well, I think the general public doesn't understand football to realize that when you do have a top team and they're really good, and you bring in a team that's a strong defensive team, they can shut you down. And then they say, well, the quarterback didn't play that well, and he's playing a terrible game where the offense looks bad. Well, they look bad because you got a strong defense. And if you got a strong defense, naturally they're not going to look good.